It's not that bright in here. Y'all know I'm fasting. Whenever I'm fasting, I get downloads like crazy. And I had recently posted and was just saying how my period was about to come, and in December I started cleansing so that I could get rid of like scar tissue. For me, it was mainly scar tissue, but the cleanse, the herbs that I'm taking would get rid of like scar tissue, fibroids, cysts, etc., like blocked tubes, all that in the uterus, because it's all kind of like built up tissues and stuff. And the whole point of the cleanse is to expel that. And ever since I started doing that, I started to be cramping and stuff on my period, which is unnormal for me because I used to cramp like years ago, but I stopped cramping, and having like, poor period symptoms after I changed my eating habits. So then to go into a different realm of healing and start to feel like it was kind of like the healing was kind of like backtracking, like now I'm feeling pain again, but it's a difference between the two pains. And I've been talking about this a lot lately because it's a difference in the pain that you feel when you're healing the body versus the pain that you feel when you're destroying the body. It's two different things. And even though one, it may be similar to the other, it's obviously what's going on internally is different. So like, how else can I put it? When you like, okay, for somebody who's never started healing, we're just going to use the period as an example. I know a lot of women have, start their periods, little girls obviously, because you're not even women yet. You start your periods and you, from day one, we're always getting heavy cramping and bleeding and stuff like that. All of that is showing, it's two different sides. That is showing trauma in the womb when you when you get your periods and stuff, and like you just now started getting your periods, 15, 16, 12, however old you are, and you're experiencing trauma, heavy bleeding, clots and stuff like that. That is showing trauma in the womb. That is the womb's way of actually communicating with you, letting you know that things aren't going right inside the womb. And so it's your job or your parents' job, because the parents are the ones supposed to tell y'all. It's y'all job to figure out what is causing it and give you the right things to not feel it anymore. And the right things are not birth control and Tylenol. The right things are herbs and minerals, because some women might just be suffering with womb issues simply because your womb is lacking minerals, because your diet lacks minerals, so the womb doesn't get what it needs. So for some people, you've literally been dealing with so many bad symptoms and poor symptoms of the womb, between PMS, hormonal imbalance, cramping, heavy bleeding, infertility, and all of that. And it's all just because you don't have any minerals in your womb that your womb needs to function and thrive properly. Now, the difference from when you're feeling the pain of the destructive pain of, one of them is a sign. The first pain, the destructive pain, is a sign. It's a signal that you need to heal, that you need to fix whatever is going wrong in the body. The other pain is it working itself out. So like for me, being that I never used to cramp or anything like that recently, since I started my healing journey years ago, I stopped cramping, I stopped there was no heavy bleeding or anything like that. And now, since I started specifically working on removing scar tissue from my womb and stuff, I am cramping when I get my cycle. But that is not a bad cramping. That cramping is not the type of cramping that's like, oh shit, my womb's trying to tell me to heal something. It's more or less that my womb is working to take out. It has to get out. You feel me? So even like, for example, when you're fasting. Now, some people who you don't be fasting, you might get like cramps, or you might get like, you ever get little chest pains, or pains in your kidney or something like that. And that's obviously the kidney or the lung giving you a sign like, hello, I'm in pain, this shit hurts, whatever you do, and stop doing it. Versus when you're fasting, it's like it's a sharp pain and you're feeling it because it's moving out. Like it's moving out the toxicity, it's moving out whatever was there that is deteriorating it, right? So obviously the difference is in the pain, and it might not even be a physical difference, because honestly I don't really remember too well like my cramps, but I know the cramps that I've been getting since I started this cleanse have been the worst. They were even worse than the cramps that I was getting as when my body was signaling to me that it was unhealthy. But that is because it is moving out the stagnicity. It is moving out the toxins. It is doing the cleanse that I intended for it to cleanse. And sometimes there's just no easy way to go about it. When your body is expelling fibroids and cysts and stuff like that, the tissue is literally stuck to your insides. Your body is going through and basically breaking it apart, pulling it off and pushing it out. You're gonna feel pain, but that's actually a good type of pain. Sometimes when you fast, you notice pains, especially at the beginning. You might get headaches, but the difference between a headache that you're getting when you know that you're following bad habits and you're not eating, you're eating poor things and stuff like that, that's probably mucus in the brain that's stuck there. It's giving you a signal like, bitch, the body is always giving you signals. It's a difference in the signals, basically. And that's how you know the difference. I know some people, one girl, she just commented on my thing and she was like, it feels like whenever she tries to do something good for her womb gets mad at her, or her womb hurts. But it's a difference in the pain that you're feeling. One pain is a sign that you're deteriorating the body, and it's asking you, it's begging you, it's getting your attention. That's why you feel the physical pain. Whenever you feel physical pain on the outside, as soon as you feel it, it's already something that's taking place internally. So by the time you feel it, it's the body's signal to stop whatever you're doing or to give it certain minerals. It's our job to learn, like, oh yeah, what minerals are for the lungs. I know if I feel a pain in my lungs, what to do. I know if I feel a pain in my kidney, what to do. It's our job to figure out what herbs to take and how to do that. But then versus when you're fasting and you get a pain, or you're cleansing and you get a pain, it's like, okay, that is stagnant energy, that is toxins, that is your lungs maybe compressing, or your kidney compressing to expel whatever was in there, to release it. Same with your womb. The body has to go extra hard. So the difference is really the signal. And for some people, like for me, when I'm fasting, I don't really feel too much pain. Like usually, you get headaches. You can't usually move around as fast. But other than that, I don't really get a lot of pain when I'm fasting. But this pain that I'm getting as I'm cleansing my womb is worse than the pain that I used to feel when my womb was uncleansed. But then again, it's different because it only lasts for one day. It's moving with it has to. It's cleansing it out. There's no other way. You gotta feel something sometimes. If feeling is not a bad thing, feeling is a good thing. When you can't feel anything, it's like you don't know what the fuck is going on. Feeling is always a sign. So if you're doing bad, if you're eating bad and you're feeling pain, it's a sign. The body is sending you a sign of something that you need to do. Some minerals that you need to have, something that you need to work on. And when you're healing and you're feeling pain, it's another sign, but it's a sign that you're doing right, that the body is actually working to expel the toxins, to release what was deteriorating it and causing it, and was causing the dis-ease in the body. So the difference in the pain is definitely really just the signal. For everybody's body is different, and depending on where your body is and it is in its state of dis-ease depends on the amount of pain that you may feel or not. But when you're like specifically cleansing the womb and you feel pain, it is a good pain. Now, it is a bad pain. It hurts, but it's a good pain because it is showing that it is releasing that stagnant energy, that it is releasing the toxins, that it is releasing whatever your goal was to release in the first place. And at the end of the day, that's the goal. At the end of the day, you have to feel. You always going to feel something. It's almost impossible because the body is doing so much. It is working so hard. And what happens on the inside usually shows some type of reflection on the outside. So you're going to have to feel, but it's just differences to the pain. And when you pay attention to the body, you can realize what is what. And so sometimes when you're healing, you feel pain too. And that was it.